Good morning. We're going to do a couple of things today. We're going to start with Psalms chapter 2. Starts like this: Lama Ragshu Goyim. Why have the nations gathered together? Ulomim Yehegurik. And the nations think vain things. That it's speaking about when they want to do, God forbid, bad things. Ityatvu Malchei Eretz. The kings of a land stand up together. Veroznim Nosdu Yachad. And their nobles take counsel together. Al Adonai, al Meshicho, against Hashem and against His anointed one, the Mashiach. Nenatka et Mosrotemo. They say, let us cut off His bands of Hashem, Venashlicha mimenu avotemo, and let us send off their cords from us. Yoshev Bashamayim Yitzchak, and the one who sits in heaven, Hashem, will laugh at them. Adonai Yil'ag Lamo, and He mocks them if they're thinking of doing, bad things and thinking that God doesn't have control. Az yedaber elemu ba'apo, He speaks to them in His wrath. V'charono yivhalemu, and He frightens them with His anger. Va'ani, and He says, Va'ani nasachti malki, I enthroned my king and I anointed him al Tzion har kochi, on Zion, my holy mountain. And you gather there to fight against the nation. I sapra el chok Adonai. I will tell of the decree that Hashem said. Adonai Amar Allah, He said to me, Beni ata, you are my son. Ani hayom yeliditicha, I have given birth to you today. She'al mimeni, this is King David and the Messiah saying that Hashem said to them, She'al mimeni ve'etena, ask for me, request from me, and I will give it to you. Goim nachalatecha, the nations your inheritance. V'achuzatecha avse aretz, and to the end of the earth will be in your possession. Teroem beshevet barzel, and you will break them with an iron rod. Kichli yotzer tanaptzem, like a potter's vessel, you will shatter them. The nations that are fighting against. Va'atam melachim haskilon, so now you kings get wise. Hivasru shoftei aretz, and be admonished, you judges of the earth. Ivdu et Adonai be'yirah, He's speaking to everyone. Serve God with fear. V'gilu b'ra'ada, and rejoice with quaking. Nashkuf var penya, enough, and arm yourselves with purity, lest Hashem gets angry. V'tovvidu derech, and you will lose your way, in your way, so to speak, of evil. So you better get good. Kivar kimat apo, for in a moment His wrath is kindled. Ashrei kol chosevo, praise are all those who take refuge in Hashem. And that's it. We have, what do we have? The ability to be good, to make good choices as human beings. This is our gift, and that's what this psalm, a lot of it is talking about. And especially, it's really connected to the end of days, like Messiah times. We're on chapter 1, verse 7 of Proverbs, Mishle. We did the first 6 verses yesterday, so I'll continue verse 7. Yirat Adonai Reshit Da'at. The fear of the Lord, of Hashem, is the beginning of knowledge. Chokhmah u'musar evilim bazu. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. They don't want to get wiser, so to speak. So really, by having fear of Hashem, of our Creator, before wisdom, this allows and gives our heart the desire to really engage in wisdom and in knowledge. Because people that are foolish and only go after their heart's desires at all times without thinking of the consequence, they will not have this. Shema beni musar avicha. Listen, my son, to the discipline of your father, what Hashem wrote in the Torah, in the written Torah and the oral Torah, that's your father. So it literally means our father, figuratively, like our physical father, but also Hashem, our Father in heaven. Va'al titosh Torat imecha, and do not forsake the teachings of your mother. So obviously also means your mother, and also means the nation of Israel, the divine presence. Ki liviyat chen hem leroshecha, for they are a wreath of grace for your head, like a va'anakim legargarotecha, and a necklace for your neck. It will, so to speak, it's like a crown and rings of a golden ornament on your head. And this is the like just like the trachea of the neck has many rings, so to speak. So he says here, for your neck. Beni im yefatucha chataim al toveh. Says, my son, if the sinners are trying to entice you, do not desire to go in their way. Im yomru lecha itanu. They say, come with us. Nerva ledam. We will wait for blood. Nitzpena lenaki chinam. We will wait for the innocent one. for without cause, and they say nivlaem kisheol chaim, we will swallow them up like alive like the grave, utmimim ki yordei bor, and the whole ones like those who descended to the pit. This is still these wicked people kind of trying to seduce the son, and this is what they say: Kol hon yakar nimtza, we will find all precious possessions. Nemale vatenu shalal, we will fill our houses with plunder. They say goralcha tapil betochenu, cast your lot among us. Kis echad lechulanu, yiyeh lechulanu, we will all have one purse. We'll share it all together. All these things that we steal together. Beni al telech itam bederech itam. He says, my son, don't go on the way with them. Mena raglecha menitivatam, restrain your foot from their path. Ki raglehem lara yarutu, for their feet run to do evil. V'imharu lishpochnam, and they're hastening to shed blood, and they don't care, and they don't realize that in the end of the day, it all comes back. God forbid, all that they're doing, it just comes back. Ki chinam mizora harashet, because it says the net is scattered without cause, called balkaf, in the eyes of all winged, like the birds, so to speak. So to these people, they think nothing will happen. Just like the bird, he sees the trap with the food and he doesn't realize he's going to get trapped. Same thing here. Vehem ledarmam yerovu yitzpenu lenafshotam. They wait. They lie in wait for blood of innocent, and they hide for their lives. Ken orchot kol botzei bata, the ways of everyone who's committing robbery. Et nefesh ba'alav yikach, it takes the soul of the life of its owner. We'll finish up with 2 more verses. Chochmot bachutz tarona, wisdom shout in the street. Barachavot titen kola, in the square she gives her voice. This is the wisdom of the Torah, cries out in the street to try to get people to come back to her, to the Torah. And what are the streets of the Torah? The study halls. And in the squares, it says, it also means a place where the Torah is expounded and studied intensively and elaborated. Berosh homiyot tikra, she calls it the head of noisy streets. Befitchei sharim, at the entrances of gates. Ba'ir amarei tomer, in the city, she says her words. Ad matai petayim te'ahavu feti, until when will the naive ones long naivety? V'leitzim latzon chamdulehem, and scoffers just covet scoffing. Uchselim yisnu dat, and the fools hate knowledge. We're going to move on. That was till verse 22 of Proverbs, so we'll continue next time on that. And now I'm going to move on to some Hasidic mystical concepts. Thank you, Sharon. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for letting me know. So this is from the second Rebbe of Chabad. It's very beautiful and very relevant. It's from this week's parsha. I felt it was relevant to the time we're in. So it says that in the parsha, it says, lift up the head of the sons of Gershon. They were from the family of Levi, for their families. And they were, what did they travel with? The curtains of the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, the cover of the tent of meeting, and the covering of the tachash, which was a kind of animal. And according to the word of Aaron and his sons, they were in command, so to speak. They were in charge of the Levites. And he asked the question, why were the sons of Gershon separated from the other sons of Kehat? That by Gershon it says lift their head. And also, why is their service of Gershon according to Aaron and his sons, and it does not say so the same thing with the sons of Kehat and the sons of Merari? So we first need to understand the whole idea of their traveling in the desert with the tabernacle and the vessels with the Levites, with the 42 journeys. It said they did 42 journeys in those 40 years. And then we'll understand the different details in the service of Gershon and Kehat. So the main reason why they were traveling in the desert was through this, they were really subjugating the source of evil, so to speak, of external forces in the world, that because their source is in the desert, so to speak. This is like the desert, so is it's kind of desolation, and it's the root of the powers of evil, so to speak, that is desolation, and that they're just focused on themselves. These are selfish energies. Just as the desert, the physical desert, is lacking light and sustenance, so to speak, of physical on the physical level. You can't really grow things so well in the desert, and that's why Israel nowadays is such a miracle, so to speak, that they've figured out how to cultivate the desert. Because, and why is this? Because the desert is so hot and so dry, almost on a harsh level, which this hints to very powerful judgment, so to speak, the energy of judgment, which doesn't allow for growth, and on the contrary, it creates desolation, that it can't really have physical influence. It's a land that has not been sown. It's not really a place for people to live, because it not only does it not have, the desert doesn't have any physical life, so to speak. It's lacking spiritual life, so to speak. So, and this is the spiritual desert that is related to that physical desert that they were traveling in, that they were bringing the light of God to those places, and through that they 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 were taking the tabernacle, they were taking the vessels, the ark of God. The Levites were carrying it. There was the revelation of the divine presence in all 42 of their journeys, just like it says when Vayhi ben Soharon, it was when the ark traveled, and Moshe said, Kuma Hashem, get up Hashem, reveal yourself. Through this, when God revealed himself, thank you, Jaime. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that, Jaime. It means a lot. Um, when they traveled through the desert, they were nullifying the powers of evil, so to speak. It's like the wax is melting in front of the fire, and that's why it says, "Kum Hashem v'yafutzu oivecha." Let your enemies disperse, so to speak. And when they would rest, it would say, Shuva Hashem, you dwell down here, Hashem. All of this is elevations and drawing down to subjugate this power of evil, so to speak. And why is it 42 journeys? Because there's a name of Hashem which is connected to this number of 42, and through this they affected and they were able to accomplish a refinement of the good from the evil. And this is what we do also when we read Kriyat Shema, and we say Ana Bechoach. It's another prayer that we lift up souls that are stuck, so to speak, in a place, the in between place. We help lift them up to our prayers. So too, before Kabbalat Shabbat, we say Ana Bechoach, because it's an elevation of the worlds. And this is this idea of the 42 journeys. It was also a preparation for the future generations, that we would have the power to refine it's called Klipad Noga, that's physicality, the light, it's called the husk of light, that we reveal godliness in it, and especially in our own lives, that we reveal light of Hashem in our soul through our service of learning Torah and fulfilling mitzvot. And that's how we get the power. Through their journeying through the desert, we have the power to elevate the physicality within us, and that gives us the power to turn away from evil and then go to good and elevate the evil to good, so to speak. And that's why it says, we say in Shema, Lahava et Hashem Elokecha bechol levavecha. It says with all of your heart. Well, why wouldn't it say bechol libecha? Why levavecha? That means with your two inclinations, also with the physical inclination, that the physicality inside of us starts to feel and get excited about spirituality. And that's what the idea of Mashiach will be, the complete elevation of physicality, and the spirit of impurity will be removed from the earth. And that's why it says, then I will give to the nations a clear tongue. The glory of Hashem will be revealed, and we will really start to see Hashem. So Chazak Baruch, B'ezrat Hashem, may we experience. Also, this Shabbat, in the parasha, we read the Birkat Kohanim, the blessing of the priests. It's a very powerful blessing. I think we should all say it tomorrow. It's the last part of the fourth Aliyah, the fourth portion. Excuse me. So I think we can all say it together. And Shabbat Shalom, Louise, and whoever else is watching. God bless you guys. I love you, and B'ezrat Hashem, will be back on Sunday night for the positivity class. Sorry I missed it last week. I'm gonna be back. B'ezrat Hashem, Shabbat Shalom, and God bless you guys. Thank you so much.